Hey everyone, my name is Griffin Rain. I'm a senior here at Marquette. I'll be graduating this year after being on the Ignite team for 3 years. So I'm super thankful for everything I've been able to do at Marquette. There's been so many great experiences, and they've helped me grow in my faith in so many ways, and helped me really see where God is calling me in my life through these experiences. And so I want to share a little bit about it's Easter time. The road to Emmaus is from the Gospel of Luke. And in this time, the resurrected Jesus, he appears to two of his disciples and starts talking with them while they're walking to Emmaus. And they don't recognize him at all, like at this time. And it's crazy, but like in our own lives, we don't recognize God working in so many ways too. But then they finally recognize him in the breaking of the bread of the Eucharist. And this is so important because while we might not recognize God in certain parts of our lives, eventually, like, he'll reveal himself to us in some way that draws upon our experiences, and then we can look back at everything and see, wow, God was right there through all of this. And so having these experiences of faith are so important because without having this experience of breaking bread with Jesus before this time at the resurrection, if they hadn't had this experience, they might not have realized it was Jesus in this breaking of the bread while they're on the road to Emmaus. So we need to have as many experiences as we can with Jesus and growing in our faith, so that when we find out where God is calling us, we're able to recognize Jesus in this moment. And so for Marquette, there's so many opportunities that we can have to grow in our faith, whether it's daily mass, going to Ignite, going on retreats or leading retreats, singing in the choir. These are all some of the things that I've been involved in while at Marquette. And they've helped me so much in finding my vocation. And so that's something that all of us are searching for. We're trying to find where God is calling us in our lives in this vocation. And so I can tell you, all of us are called to holiness. That is our first vocation. But then our second vocation is what God is calling us to, whether it's the priesthood, married life, religious life. These are ways that God can show us a way to holiness. And so through this secondary vocation, we're able to then reach our primary vocation. But then if we aren't trying to grow in holiness, it'll be very hard to recognize Jesus in this secondary vocation. And so both vocations are needed in our lives. And I think the experiences that we have really show how these vocations, or really these experiences show what vocation God is calling us to, and we'll realize that all at once. So in my life, I realized all these different ministries that I was doing at Marquette were all preparing me to recognize Jesus through the sacraments, and now it seems like God calling me to the priesthood. And this experience, I was visiting my priest, and I went with him to an anointing of the sick. And for this, at this moment, I've been with Jesus through the sacraments. But I noticed something so great in how the sacraments are at this moment. We're at transitions in our lives. And through those transitions, a good priest can really point us towards heaven and towards Christ. So I started thinking about the priesthood a little bit more after that moment and calling on all these past experiences that I've had in ministry and seeing that these were all for helping other people grow in their faith and recognizing that that's exactly what a priest does. And so these experiences that you have at Marquette are so important in discerning what your actual vocation is. So I would recommend you to really go out and get involved in everything that you can to help give you more experiences of faith, so that at the moment that Jesus calls you, you can say yes.